Welcome back to the message mapping series. In this session, we are going to discuss about one of the most important concepts in message mapping, which are the node functions. Many interviewers are love to ask you the questions regarding the node functions when they want to test your skills regarding the message mapping. So understanding and working with node functions is very important to master the message mapping. To understand the node functions properly, we need to have a clear-cut idea about cues, context and context changes. I have already made a detailed video talking about those concepts and it is available in this playlist. So I would suggest you to watch those videos before you dive deep into node functions. Okay, let's get started. Node functions are used to handle the context, occurrences and structures in message mapping. So we have a bunch of node functions. For example, createIf, exists, replace value, map with the default, get header, get property, collapse context, remove context, split by value. So we are going to talk each one of them in a detailed manner. So first, let's discuss the requirement here. This is the sample input XML I have and this is the target I need to generate. Observe closely. We have employees as the root tag in our source XML and we have couple of employee data. And each employee has employee ID, first name, last name, age, designation, email, phone, etc. Right? The same goes to target as well. We have staff data as the root and then we have couple of staff members and what are the logics involved in this requirement? Employee code is mapped as is, age, department, job title, there are one-to-one mappings and here we have employee status. Observe closely. It is mapped from the status field and if it is active, it is showing active. But this employee doesn't have a status field, right? What does we need to generate now? Here, if you see the employee status is unknown. So when you have a value for the status field, you are going to pass the value as it is. But if the node is missing, if the status node is missing completely, you need to default some value. You need to say something like unknown. The same goes to the email address as well. So if the employee has email, then good, it is mapped as it is. But if the employee doesn't have any email address, we should have a default value which says no email. Fine. For phone numbers, whether you have a value or not, you should default something like confidential. Like something like confidential. What is the value you get from the input doesn't matter. You need to generate the default value at the target node. Now, here we have has manager and this field is dependent on the manager ID. So if the manager ID is present, we should say it is true, has manager true. If the manager ID is not present, we have to say the false. So we are checking if the node is existing in the source XML or not, right? So that is another requirement. And we are going to discuss each one of the node functions here, like the createIf, replace value, map with the default, use one as many, remove context, collapse context, split by value, all these functions we are going to discuss one by one, right? To start the message mapping, I need both the source and target structures, right? So since I have the sample XML with me, I can easily generate the structures. So copy the source XML and go to XML to XST converter. Here you will upload your sample XML and don't worry, in real time as well you can generate these structures since we are using the sample payloads only, right? Even when you are going to build a development or when you are going to build an integration, they will give you the source sample and target sample as well. So you are going to use those payloads, sample payloads, dummy payloads to create your structure. So this is not the actual data, it is a mock-up data, so you can use them, no problem. I'll copy this and paste it here with a meaningful name. I'm going to say node functions underscore source structure dot xst. We should save it with dot xst. Now let me do the same thing with the target as well. I'll generate it and copy the structure. Save it with dot .xst extension. Target structure dot .xst. Now we have these structures. Let's continue the mapping. I have created one iflow which is node functions, and I'm going to use this iflow to implement the message mapping. I will take a content modifier to set the initial payload. I'm going to say sample XML payload. Message body, I'm going to copy paste the source XML. Now, let me take the message mapping. I'll say data mapping and create a new one. I'm going to say underscore node functions. Now, upload the source and target structures. This is the source and this is the target. So the employees goes to the staff data, and each employee should have staff member record. Now, employee ID will be mapped to employee code, age is going to be mapped with age, the department goes to department, designation goes to job title. The next field is employee status. So employee status should be mapped with status. But what do we have here? If the employee is active, we are passing the value as is. If it doesn't have a status field, we should use unknown as the value. So to achieve this logic, we can use a function called mapWithDefault. So what does this function do? So in the node functions, if we scroll down, we have mapWithDefault. So if the status field is present from the source XML, it is going to use the value from the status as it is. Otherwise, it is going to use unknown. That's it. And same applies to the email as well. If the email is present in the source, it is going to map it as is. Otherwise, it is going to map with a default value. So when a context is missing for the source value, it is going to use the default value. Simple. So I'm going to say no underscore email, right? And what is the next field? We have phone number. So whether you have a value or not from the source phone, you have to use a default value. What is the default value? It says confidential. So you have to use this value. So to replace the source value entirely with another value, a constant value, we can use the replace value function. Okay. So here you have replace value. We are going to connect this. What is the value? Confidential. That's it. The next field is manager ID. So manager ID is mapped with manager ID, and we have as manager. So this has to be either true or false if the manager ID is present in the source or not. So the way we check if the source node exists or not is pretty straightforward. We have a function called exist. It will generate either true or false based on the existence of the source node. So here we have exists. Origin and processing mode. These two values should be read from properties and headers that are defined before the message mapping step in our CPI flow. So how can we read the values of a header and a property? Simple. We have a node function called drag this to mapping expression, and we have a function called get header. So this get header is going to read the header value from the CPI flow. So I will use a constant to set the header origin. This is the name of my header. We have to define it before the message mapping step. And the processing mode, I am going to drag it to the mapping expression, and I will take the constant, go to the node functions and get property. What is the value? Processing mode. I am going to set the property value to this. And here. That's it. So we mapped every field, every mandatory field. Let me try to simulate this and observe if all the values are working or not. Let me simulate and upload the source XML. Now let me test this. So here the employee status is active. So it passed the value as it is and the email address as well. But for phone, even though we have some values in the phone, it is defaulted to confidential. Let's move on. Manager ID is present, so has manager is set to true. The origin and processing mode, since we are simulating inside the message mapping, it cannot read the properties and headers defined outside the mapping flow. So we can run it, deploy it, and we can observe these values. So fine, let's go to the other employee and see. So the employee status is unknown for this employee. Why? The status node doesn't exist for this employee in the source XML. So we are not passing the status for this employee. So it is defaulted to unknown, and the phone number is confidential since we used a replace value, and email as well. It is missing the email. So it simply says no underscore email. We don't have an email value. So even though the manager doesn't have a value, even though the manager ID is null, it passed the null value and has manager is set to true, right? So why it happened? Even though the value is not present, the node is present. So the exists function, what does it do? It will check if the node exists or not. Even though you pass a null value, it will say true since it found the node in the source. So that is the behavior of exists. If you remove the node entirely from the source, it will simply throw you a false, right? So that's the behavior. Here you can see this employee doesn't have a manager node at all. He is missing the node completely. So the has manager field is set to false, right? Simple. So let me do another thing here. Let me implement another logic.